Should import statements always be at the top of a module? PEP 8 states, imports are always put at the top of the file, just after any module comments and docstrings, and before module globals and constants. However, if the class method function that I am importing is only used in rare cases, surely it is more efficient to do the import when it is needed. Isn't this? More efficient than this.
Module importing is quite fast, but not instant. This means that putting the imports at the top of the module is fine, because it's a trivial cost that's only paid once. Putting the imports within a function will cause calls to that function to take longer. So if you care about efficiency, put the imports at the top. Only move them into a function if your profiling shows that would help. You did profile to see where best to improve performance, right? The best reasons I've seen to perform lazy imports are optional library support. If your code has multiple paths that use different libraries, don't break if an optional library is not installed. In the __init___.py of a plugin, which might be imported but not actually used. Examples are Bazaar plugins, which use Bzlib's lazy loading framework.
Putting the import statement inside of a function can prevent circular dependencies. For example, if you have two modules, x.py and y.py, and they both need to import each other, this will cause a circular dependency when you import one of the modules, causing an infinite loop. If you move the import statement in one of the modules, then it won't try to import the other module till the function is called, and that module will already be imported, so no infinite loop. Read here for more, fbot.org/zone/import-confusion.htm.
I have adopted the practice of putting all imports in the functions that use them, rather than at the top of the module. The benefit I get is the ability to refactor more reliably. When I move a function from one module to another, I know that the function will continue to work with all of its legacy of testing intact. If I have my imports at the top of the module, when I move a function, I find that I end up spending a lot of time getting the new module's imports complete and minimal. A refactoring IDE might make this irrelevant. There is a speed penalty as mentioned elsewhere. I have measured this in my application and found it to be insignificant for my purposes. It is also nice to be able to see all module dependencies up front without resorting to search, e.g. grep. However, the reason I care about module dependencies is generally because I'm installing, refactoring, or moving an entire system comprising multiple files, not just a single module. In that case, I'm going to perform a global search anyway to make sure I have the system-level dependencies. So I have not found global imports to aid my understanding of a system in practice. I usually put the import of sys inside the if __name _= main ___ check and then pass arguments, like sys.argv one column to a main function. This allows me to use main in a context where sys has not been imported.
Most of the time this would be useful for clarity and sensible to do, but it's not always the case. Below are a couple of examples of circumstances where module imports might live elsewhere. Firstly, you could have a module with a unit test of the form. Secondly, you might have a requirement to conditionally import some different module at runtime. There are probably other situations where you might place imports in other parts in the code.
The first variant is indeed more efficient than the second when the function is called either 0 or 1 times. With the second and subsequent invocations, however, the import every call approach is actually less efficient. See this link for a lazy loading technique that combines the best of both approaches by doing a lazy import. But there are reasons other than efficiency why you might prefer one over the other. One approach makes it much more clear to someone reading the code as to the dependencies that this module has. They also have very different failure characteristics. The first will fail at load time if there's no datetime module, while the second won't fail until the method is called. Added note: in IronPython, imports can be quite a bit more expensive than in Python because the code is basically being compiled as it's being imported.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.